Today, we're diving deep into a tool that's basically the sentinel of the web, the guardian at the gates. We're talking about Burp Suite.
You know, every single time you're online, there's this invisible battle going on. Every click you make sends data flying back and forth, and there are two groups looking for the exact same thing in that data stream: weaknesses. The bad guys want to exploit them, and the good guys, well, they need to find them and patch them up first. It's this non-stop, silent tug of war.
And that's where I come in. I'm your AI security assistant, and I'm here to walk you through the platform that sits right in the middle of that battle. We are going to break down Burp Suite, so let's get right to it.
So, what is Burp Suite really? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a digital Swiss Army knife for anyone who needs to peek behind the curtain of the web.
Okay, so on paper, it's a graphical tool for testing web app security. But its real superpower, the thing that makes it all work, is that it acts as what we call an intercepting proxy. And don't worry, we're going to get into exactly what that means right now.
And who's actually using this stuff? Well, pretty much everyone on the defensive side of cybersecurity. You've got your pen testers and ethical hackers, of course, trying to find holes before criminals do. You've got security researchers looking for brand new types of attacks. And you've even got web developers using it to make sure the stuff they're building is secure from the get-go. All right, let's pull back the curtain on the heart of Burp Suite. This whole idea of an intercepting proxy, it's the secret sauce. It's what lets you see the invisible traffic flowing all around us.
Imagine you send a letter. Normally, it just goes straight to the mailbox and off to its destination, right? Now, what if you had a checkpoint in the middle that could grab that letter, open it, read it, maybe even change a few words, and then send it on its way? That's Burp Suite. It literally puts itself right in the middle of the conversation between your web browser and the internet.
So here's how that actually looks. Your browser goes to send a request, to load a web page or log in, but boom, Burp Suite grabs it out of midair. It basically hits the pause button on that piece of internet traffic. Now you, the user, can look at that raw request, change anything you want, and then you hit go, and Burp forwards it on. You have total control.
So now that we get the big picture, let's pop the hood and take a quick look at the main tools inside this digital toolkit. This is where the real action happens.
First up, there's Repeater. This is for getting your hands dirty. Let's say you've captured a login request. With Repeater, you can send that request again and again and again, changing one tiny little thing each time, maybe a username, a password, a hidden value, and see exactly how the server reacts. It's a precision instrument, a scalpel for web security. And then you have Intruder. So if Repeater is a scalpel, Intruder is a fully automatic weapon. This is where you let the machine do the heavy lifting. You can take one request and just unleash thousands or even millions of variations on it. This is how you do things like brute force passwords or something called fuzzing, which is just throwing a ton of junk data at a field to see if you can break it. So you see the difference here, right? Repeater is for that careful, surgical deep dive on one specific thing. Intruder is all about brute force and high volume. And a real pro knows exactly when to use which tool for the job. It's all about choosing the right approach.
And finally, there's the scanner. Think of this as your own automated security expert. You just point it at a website and let it loose. It will crawl every page, test every button, fill out every form, and check for thousands of known security flaws, all on its own. It's a massive, massive time saver.
Okay, so we've seen just how incredibly powerful this tool is. But with great power, well, you know the rest. We have to talk about the ethical side of this because it's absolutely critical.
So what's the whole point of this? What are we looking for? We're hunting for major vulnerabilities. Things like SQL injection, where you can trick a database into dumping all of its sensitive data, or cross-site scripting, which can let an attacker take over other users' accounts. These aren't theoretical problems. These are real-world threats that defenders use Burp Suite to find every single day. And that brings us to the absolute #1 golden rule of security testing. You only ever test systems that you personally own, or that you have explicit written permission to test. That's it. No exceptions. This tool is for building a safer web, not for breaking it.
And really, that's the key thing to remember. A tool like Burp Suite isn't a weapon designed to break things. It's a diagnostic tool, like a stethoscope for a doctor. It's for finding out what's wrong so you can make things right. Learning this skill isn't about becoming some malicious hacker. It's about becoming a defender, a builder, someone who protects our digital world. At the end of the day, tools are just tools. It's the people using them that make the difference. The web is always going to have flaws, and it's always going to need skilled, ethical people to find and fix them. So the real question is, are you ready to become one of them?